walk up here, you can make your way. So hey guys, we are very excited because we were actually very hot on the tracks of the lions, and here they are. Very, very exciting. Now we've got 2 males, and it seems like the rest of the Nkuhuma pride is just at the back. All of them around here, which is wonderful. So they've definitely been out and about on the tracks of the buffalo. However, it seems like they had no luck with the buffalo. Now I want to try and figure out who the lion is, the one that's sleeping in front of us. I'm gonna go with Tinyo just because I can see a broken canine, the bottom right one, and then the other one at the back, not too sure as I can only see its mane. But they've walked a certain distance from where they were yesterday, and I think perhaps they could have walked a lot more. But if they were actually following the buffalo as we think that they were, probably it took them a very long time to try and approach them and be very, very careful as to not get detected. There are no signs of the buffalo around here whatsoever, which makes us think that the buffalo are very aware of the fact that very big lions are after them. Now, there's a cub always hanging out with the older males. Seems like he's enjoying the company of his potential fathers, because we don't know which one it is, and I'm pretty sure it doesn't know either. But in my experience, or at least when we saw him yesterday, he seems to be quite happy playing around. Now, you also seem to be quite lazy. Maybe it's been a long walk for such a little cub. And the rest of the pride and all the females are just a little bit further up the road. There we go, all of them watching the little cub. All lying down and all sleeping. Perfect weather for the lions just to choose any spot under the sun, or the lack of sun, I should say, just to sleep and enjoy their afternoon or their morning off. And it was quite funny because we were following the tracks, and it always happens. My face is glued to the tracks, and I'm just looking at them, and I'm like, okay, we're getting closer. I can feel it. And then Sensor raised his head, and he was like, oh, they're down the road. So yay, this was actually a very easy bout of tracking, which doesn't always happen, and I'm very, very happy about it, because at least we get to spend quite a bit of time with them. We are on the boundary road, so there is potential for them, we've got a 50-50 chance of them going back into Djuma, or a 50 chance of them going into a reserve out of our traverse. Now, those big boys, those were the ones that we were following, and one of these 2 boys was actually sent around. But as we were tracking them, it was funny because they walked a little bit, and then you could see the tracks where they all had been lying down, and then walked a little bit further, tracks for all of them lying down, walked a little bit further, and then they were also lying down. At least they're creatures of habit, and they're very consistent in what they do and in their movements. Now, stomachs are not looking as full as yesterday, but still very well fed lions. So got a female at the back that's just gotten up. Where are you gonna go? Just repositioning yourself? I wonder if they're gonna get on the move again. Like I said, the tracks seem to be that they were up to something, and I wouldn't be surprised if they're not done, and if they're still on the trail of the buffalo. There are some heads poked in her direction. Maybe she's just going to decide to lie down there. Definitely something. Probably because she needed to relieve herself. Well, at least it was decent of her to move away from the rest of the lions. Sometimes they don't even do that, which is quite funny. I think what I'm going to try and do is just to reposition, see if we can get a closer look at the rest of the pride. Saria, you're wondering if they're going to roar this morning. Well, I would certainly like to hear them roar. However, I don't think they will. And the reason for it, I don't think they will this morning, is because if they are really on the tracks of the lions, perhaps they wouldn't want to give their position away in any way. So if they start roaring, the buffaloes will certainly know that they're here. Also, they're looking pretty tired. But what would be really cool is if later on they start contact calling. If one, decides to move away and start going, then might just make that whoo call to the rest of the pride so that they carry on. Their sense with his impression of a roaring lion. Don't worry, guys. We won't affect the lions, since they are very aware of the fact that we do not sound like them. I've actually never met somebody that can talk to lions and the lions will respond. They always know when it's not us. Look at them, so sleepy. Right, let's head on to where the rest of the pride is and see if perhaps we can count the females and all of them. It'll be nice to just make sure that everybody is around here. We know that 2 of the boys are there, but who knows, perhaps the 3rd one is there. And we'll also perhaps get a look at the one at the back, see who it is. It'll be interesting if instead of Nsuku, if it was, instead of Nena, if it was Nsuku. Right. Nothing like a pile of lions for the morning drive. Very nice. Alright, just gotta get up here, up the bank. Sorry, boy. Try my best not to disturb your beauty sleep. Alrighty. It's amazing how they just appropriate themselves of the road. It's just like, this is mine. Humans go around us. Okay, well, I can tell you guys that the second male is definitely Nena. Yeah. Definitely Nena. Maybe I'm just gonna try and park like this so that we can have a look at him. Oh, and as the cars start piling up. Jared's buddy, you're wondering why the Birmingham males are always with the Nkuhumas and not the Styx pride. Well, yes and no. They change as to where they go and what they do. There's, for example, at the moment, one of the Birmingham boys, which is with the other prides of lions, a little bit far away from here on Malamala. And then we are missing one of them. So it could be that particular one has gone off and has been spending time with the Styx. I think they try to distribute their time amongst the different prides, but also what plays an important role is the food availability and the water. So they might just hang around an area a little bit more because they've got more water and food in that particular spot, and then they come to their territorial patrol, bump into the rest of them, and then that's why. I don't think there is a emotional or any sort of preferences and like we like the Nkuhumas more, we're going to stay around with them. It could be. I wouldn't be able to tell you, as I would very much like to know what goes on the mind of a male lion, but it's very hard to tell. I think it's a fact of like, we like the Styx more, or we like the Nkuhumas more. What I have observed in the past, though, is, for example, if it were just 2 male lions and they've got more than one pride, they normally tend to stay or spend more time with the pride that is the biggest, just because it's also able to offer them the most protection, especially if they're getting a little bit older. Right, let's go ahead and have a look at our beautiful girls. We've got their heads up, and then we'll be able to count them. And just see if everyone's accounted for, which is always a good thing to do. Always count them, see that we're not missing anyone. Oop, okay, there is definitely one that's now sleeping in the long grass, so I'm going to count that one. Oh, this is my favorite view of the morning. It's almost like the red carpet, but instead of the red carpet, it's the sand carpet for the lions. The more appropriate one. Okay, I think it's getting a little bit complicated to try and count, but I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've just heard from Kirsten FC that apparently there is a question graphic that is stuck on your screens. We are working on getting it out, and I'm sure Jared is fighting the stream. So again, we apologize for the inconvenience. Now we're hoping that this will not bother anyone with our carpet of lions, because it is a very beautiful morning. Now let's count all together. 1, 2, 3. There's one sleeping on the road. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I think that's about right. No, I'm mistaken. I think there might be some more sleeping on the road that I cannot see from here. But well done, girls. You carry on walking this way. We would like to keep you in Djuma just so that we can spend some time with them. That would be wonderful. Yep, onto the ground they've gone, yawning. You guys, you haven't walked that much this morning. It is, however, the weather is a little bit stuffy. It's apparently 23 and 73, but it feels like a lot more just because of how humid it is. And we're apparently due to have thunderstorms the whole week again. And I think it's going to be a bit of a tiring one. But it's hopefully not that bad. Just trying to see what this one is doing, and I got distracted. Now, I'm impressed by this little cub. It's always full of energy, and everybody's sleeping and not wanting to do much. And it's always like, hi, can somebody please play with me? Anyone? Maybe your wish was granted. Nice, good yoga stretch there. Well, I must say, it seems like they have digested some of the food that they ate yesterday. To me, it seemed like they were a little bit fuller yesterday morning. However, it doesn't seem like they're struggling for food just yet. It's almost like they are starting their morning just like humans. Get up, move a little bit, get the metabolism and the system going, go to the loo, carry on. These are being decent enough not to do it on top of each other. And it is quite unbelievable how they also camouflage pretty well. And we know that they're here, but from the angle of the road that we were, had some of the females not had their heads up, I don't think we would have been able to see them until we were pretty much right on top of them. You look like you got a fright, young boy. Chrissy, you're wondering if the injured Nkuhuma is present and if I can see her. I actually haven't seen the wound, but there is a lioness that's sleeping with her belly facing upwards in the middle of the road, so that could be the one. Otherwise I haven't seen her. There she is, well, the one that's sleeping on the road. So we're going to keep an eye out for that. And there's two of them there, so it could be one of them. I think maybe let's go and see if perhaps it is one of them. But while we get closer, let's head over to Tristan and find out if he's had any luck this morning. Oh, walking down the road. Seems like it's time to carry on moving. The females, of course, were the ones that first started, and now this is Tinian, and has already walked past us and scent marked right in, pretty much almost in our faces, and now has carried on moving. But it is something impressive just to see them walking. And I cannot tell you how different the perspective is when you see them from a distance and when they walk right next to your vehicle. Then you get an idea of just how big these creatures are and how powerful as well. Now he's going to walk in front of us. Karen, you're wondering how do the males prevent their manes from becoming so matted? Well, there's some grooming involved that helps in the whole process. Then every now and again there will be some allo grooming from some of the females. However, it rarely happens. It's fine, there's a lion there. Alrighty. I'm just gonna move around because the road is getting a little bit too much. So we're just going to move here and just allow the girls a little bit more space. Okay, or maybe... So, sorry, by the way, I got distracted with the male lion walking, and the rest of the pride has now carried on walking or slowly moving in that general direction. The Nkuhuma lioness with the wound is still there and walking. So she's actually one of the leading ones that's gone up and moving. It's quite beautiful. Now, I think what I would like to do is eventually when they get out of the road, we're going to try and get ahead of them, see if we can get the whole pride of lions walking towards us. But I want to give these guys a bit of a chance to actually move without us having to go and dash through the bushes and do a crazy loop around. And funny enough, oh, look at the cub. Have a look at the cub. The cub has decided that this is the opportunity it's been waiting for, and it's now been jumping and attacking all different family members, which is very cute. And it's still so tiny you can only see his tail and the back of his ears. So you see all these follow me signs, perfect for this little one, because even though the grass is not all around us, it's clearly a lot longer than or taller than what he is. She is? I actually haven't gotten a proper look yet. There we go, little one. Resin, you're wondering how old the younger boys will be before they start getting their manes, or by the time they get their manes. Well, the youngsters that are in this pride, they've already started getting... What? There we go. Have already started getting their manes, and they definitely have a bit of fluff going on underneath their neck, but they're only going to get this impressive, very big manes when they're about 5-6 years old. And so it's going to carry on growing, but when they become fully territorial in an area, that's when the big manes are going to come. Right, now they're all back, so I'm going to try and dash forward, see if we can see them all walking towards us. That would be prize number 1. Okay. There's a little bit of traffic involved. Alrighty, let's go in a different route so that we don't all drive the same way. Ryder, you're wondering who my favorite lion is. Well, there's a lioness in the southern pride, which is the pride of lions that dominates the southern part of the Sabi Sand, and her name is Floppy Ear. She's known as Floppy Ear. I think Sabi calls her Mandleve. She is my ultimate favorite lioness. I have seen her do so many clever things. She's just so intelligent, and I find her behavior fascinating. She really had an impact on me. At one point, though, I was dreaming every night that she was going to come and eat me, which was a little bit scary. But I think she would be my ultimate favorite lioness. She's a very cool lioness, and it's all for the pride almost. She's getting a little bit old now, so I'm not too sure for how long she's going to be around, because even when I was there, and it was about a few years ago now, she was already deemed to be an older lioness. But I think the Nkuhuma Pride of Lions are also quite, they're getting quite up there in my list, just because they are such pretty lions. They always seem to be in such great conditions. Okay, now we are top of the line of the lions, so I'm just going to go a little bit further. What you doing, young boy? We're not at the top of the line. The males are there. And I think let's rather use this opportunity to see most of the pride. There is one female and one of the males that are ahead of us. But I think this will probably just the one bush that is in the way, and I apologize. But there are it's getting congested on the road. As you can imagine, everybody wants to see lions walking down the road on a Monday morning. Here we go. Now again, I apologize about the one bush that is clearly in our way. But the rest of them are still coming behind, so we're going to be able to see. Now, Chris mentioned that she's got a little bit of blood around her mouth. So I think then this might be the girl with the injured back, as she's been grooming it constantly. So let's just wait for her to pass us by, and we'll be able to definitely tell, because her wound would be on the other side of her hip, the one that we cannot see from here. And if it is her, it's her. Can you see it from up there? There we go. So yes, I can see it there on the side. So it's definitely her. So she's got a little bit of blood on her mouth, because clearly she's been grooming that wound and trying to clean it up and just maintain it in a healthy condition, or at least without maggots or anything. So it's looking a lot better. Definitely a lot smaller than what it was a few months ago. Hello. Seems like you got an injury to your head. Oh, you might have gone blind in one eye. Do you even have an eye? Okay, shame. You are missing one eye. Thanks, Kirst, for confirming. I can't believe it's the first time I've picked that up. Now, the rest of the pride is coming in the mail. Oh, you look like you don't want to walk anymore. Just like, oh no, so tiring. I'm just going to wait for the rest. You can hear some of the lions around us contact calling. There we go. Now, I think... Sorry guys, I just need... There are the lions playing down at the bottom of the road. Standing by. Sorry, go again with your update. Okay, copy. I just want to get a last view. So Rex just called me on the radio. Apparently there's another lion not too far from us. So let's just, I don't think these guys are going to go anywhere just for now. So I would just like to wait for the rest of the pride to come walking, because that is a very cool view. I don't think the lions are going to be going too far from us. Either you're wondering if they smell. Well, they can stink for sure, and I always find that lion dung is the stinkiest one of them all. It's really, really, really not a good one. But for the moment, I cannot say that they stink too much. These two youngsters have been up to no good. They've just been playing around and play fighting all along. So hopefully they'll carry on with their antics. But yeah, from where we stand, and even though they are quite close to where we are, I cannot really tell that they stink. Now you'll see other vehicles moving in around. We are in one of our boundary roads, so obviously it's a road that's got a little bit of traffic. All of them playing around. This is the world's best playground. The little one is at least quite brave to be playing with other siblings that are about maybe 3, 4, 5 times its size. Almost walking up. Okay then, thank you, Peter. All right. Shame, you don't really want to walk. It's too far away, isn't it? Too far away from everything. He definitely looks tired, and well, I'm sure it's probably being the laziest one because he's the one that ate the most. So if you're the one that eats the most, it's a little bit heavy to carry your belly all around, isn't it? I think he agrees with me. It's just like, oh, so much effort to keep up with all these youngsters. Now, there's a pen not too far from here, so I am hoping that they're going to head in back to Djuma to drink. That would be ideal. Now, you see the youngsters at the bottom of the road, Senso, bless you. They're having a full-on play fight, jumping in and out of the road, following each other, chasing each other. Okay, let's just be patient. I'm sure they're going to come back onto the road. We'll keep an eye out on them. While we wait for these naughty youngsters to come, let's head back to Tristan and find out what he's up to. A very hard time dipping because we are at about a 45-degree angle. Alright, so she is drinking down there. So we've got the 2 pans that have filled up naturally thanks to the rain, which is wonderful because now hopefully we're going to get the rest of the pride coming and having a drink. Now, as I said earlier, it seems that this is the injured lioness, but she is looking in good spirits overall. Not too bad. And I see some movement at the back, so I wonder if they're all going to start coming. Lisa, you're wondering who is a member of the pride that decides where they're going to go, where normally that's the decision of one of the older females or one of the more dominant females, which tends to be one of the oldest ones in the pride, as she knows the area a little bit better. She knows where to go and how to do things a lot more than the youngsters. So normally when she gets up, or when one of them get up, then the rest of the females start following. The youngsters definitely have no say in what goes on. And normally, as it's the females, the ones that start moving, and then it's the males that come and start moving. Now you can see her injury is still there, unfortunately, but it is looking a lot better than what it was a few months ago. Especially after that massive gash, it was a bit worrying, but it just proves how resilient these animals are and how just by doing their own natural thing, which is pretty much what's available to them, it's just licking their wound and making sure that it's clean, she's managed to keep it in a way that's going to aid with the healing process. Now they were all in the fire break, so I wonder if they're all going to carry on coming this way, because unfortunately I cannot see them anymore. So I'm going to try and dash around, see if we can see them again. And if they do carry on coming this way, then we'll come back here. It's going to be a bit of a tricky one for us to get out of here. So we might fall off into the pan ourselves. I'm sure we'll be fine though. There we go. That wasn't too bad. Good. All right, here we go. Let's see. I think the fire break is probably our best bet. All lying down, and when we're not going to be disturbing any of them. All right, we've one of the boys and a female walking straight to us, and they were lying very closely together. So I wonder if perhaps love is indeed in the air, and if that's the reason he's almost being a little bit protective of her. Okay, definitely smelling. Sorry, Chris, can you just repeat? I'm gonna again. Lady, you're wondering, First Lady, sorry, you're wondering if the lionesses choose the lions that they want to mate with. Well, when it comes to mating, they seem to prefer males with darker manes, as it seems that the ones with darker manes are associated with better genes within the lion society. So they to the ones that they feel are the most dominating one. However, sometimes it doesn't play out in their favor. Sometimes it's the males that start fighting once the goes into her estrous cycle, and then they will settle their own dominance and push each other away. Now, I think if I got a glimpse correctly of this male, this is Nene. And following her around, you see, whenever she walks, he walks behind, and he was sniffing her underneath her tail. So I'm sure there's a lot of olfactory information that's currently up in the air. And if she's not in her estrous cycle, it could be that she's going to go into her estrous cycle fairly soon. Now, it's probably the reason why he's after her, and he's wherever she goes, he goes. He doesn't want to miss a mating opportunity towards his brothers, because even if they are brothers and they share all the females, they also fight for their own rights and their own time with the females. Very erratic movement. I wonder what they're doing. So they're all pretty much here, but I don't know if they're just all very tired. It doesn't seem like they want to move that much. Where are you guys? I think they're coming our way. Well, there's at least a lot of them down there, so I'm gonna park the road in case they do decide to carry on moving, that we're not gonna be in their way. I was so sure you guys would go for a drink. There's still hope for that. It would be amazing to see them all drinking, but I think in the lion world you do everything quite easily. You walk a little bit, then you rest a little bit, and then you more, and then you take it easy. Unless you're really hunting, and then that's just business. That's the greeting ceremony we're seeing there with all the different members of the rubbing their heads. And then the ones that have already done it carry on. You guys are going to head that little pan, and you're going to make me reverse all the way into it, won't you? I feel like I could complain of bigger worries in the world rather than having to reverse because I want to see lions. Somebody's being very playful with the little one. They're all heading that way. Now, I'm stuck in a bit of a spot, as I really parked myself in here. Well, little one, you wanted friends and you wanted to wake up, and now you've got to endure what older siblings will do to you, or your cousins, rather. A very long walk for you. Now the rest of them are walking. They're not too far. I'm confident that we'll be able to perhaps turn around once they all stop moving, that we'll be able to turn around and go and have a look at them, possibly. But in order to do so, I've got to wait for the rest of them to stop. Beautiful lions. Such big creatures. Alright. The last two, do not want to move. I just want to make sure that there are no lions behind us before I head back onto the waterhole. No lions behind us. Right, let me see how I'm gonna get myself out of here. Yeah, I think reversing all the way is gonna be the way. Alright. While I try to reverse and not break any car parts, let's head over to Tristan, who I believe up in something new. And what a video it is! Look at them! All of them drinking at the same time, right next to each other. This is a stunning, stunning view. I'm glad they all made me work for it, because it was definitely worth it. Do you see all those little tongues? Listen to them. Unbelievable. Even the little one managed to get in there. Oh, sorry, Senzo. I didn't know that that was entirely me. Now, it seems like there is another lion coming to replace the one that just got up. That little cub gets himself into trouble. That is a beautiful visual. That is incredible. That is stunning to have so many lions drinking next to each other. One or two lionesses one lioness missing. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm sure it's the one that's with Nina. Are you guys gonna try and drink from a different water hole? Are we heading back into Djuma? Tom, you say it's a post. I agree with you. How stunning was that view of all of them down there? I don't get to see lions drinking up like that all that much. So whenever you do get that chance, I think it's just incredible. And then, of course, the antics of a little cub. Go, go, go. So feisty and full of life. Now, as they drink their fill, then they carry on moving. And it seems like they're heading further north. So I wonder what they're going to be up to this morning. Not too sure if the buffalo perhaps got all the way here and they're still on the trail, as I didn't see any tracks this morning. So it'll be interesting to find out. Perhaps they've just decided this is it. They want buffalo anymore. Hello, beautiful lion. Look at the size of those paws. Jillian, you say you feel bad for the little one as he's got nobody to play with. Well, I don't think it feels that it doesn't have any companions. It's forcing everyone to play with him. So it must be a little bit boring and not having someone to have the same energy as him and play all day long. But I think that was one of the brothers or one of the moms stealing the little one, and now that's exactly what that growl behind us was. Just give him a bit of a bite, yeah? So right behind us, we're playing. So we cannot move as they are exactly in a tricky spot, as we've also put us in a bit of a complicated area. But as soon as these two move, then we're going to try and reposition again and have a view of the little one. Now, not to worry, nothing really happened. It was just more of a grunt than anything else. Just a warning, as in, like, I said enough. No, I don't want to play with you. I think that's exactly what happened. Right, now let me get myself out of the spot. Alright, while we get ourselves out of here, let's go to Tristan, who seems to have found a friend. Well, they seem to be having a full time. So the older cub, I know, have you now decided that you're going to pretend that you weren't playing? So the branches that are at the bottom of these cubs' feet, there we go, there's another one. Exactly. That's what they've been up to. It's almost like they've turned into dogs now. Now, they've been playing and stealing that branch from one another the last few minutes or so. And mostly this cub's here and the little one. The little one just waits for something to drop something, or then he pretends that he's coming for cuddles and says hellos to the other one. And then that's how he managed to steal that little piece of branch that's there. But I think the older cub's gonna come back again and try to steal it from him. Little feisty cub. You didn't know it's got to be a little bit submissive. There we go. Oh no! They properly bumped heads. They are having a wonderful time. Wonderful time. And it's so important on the development of the older cubs and the young cub. It just is playing and learning their abilities and learning new skills. It plays such a crucial part of, what their future might bring for them. Oh no, you guys they're heading a little bit further down into the thicket there, but I see an opening. So we're just going to try and get in there, see if we can with them playing, because it's been highly entertaining. It's wonderful. Hello, boy. Oh, we've had somebody join the party. How are you doing, Tinya? How's it going with all these cubs? Last one in line. Now, let us see if we can go around and have another view of the cubs. Okay, let's see. Now, I see the little cub using this path here. So I'm gonna drive in a different route so that I don't bother him. Alright. More drinking guy. Alright. There's another mud wallow. Whoop! And a hole that I clearly did not see. Sorry, Sense, are you okay? That's part of the problem with such long grass. I tend to think that the holes are not there, and in reality they are. Chris says at least it didn't fall out. That wouldn't have been funny at all, not with so many lions around. Although that would make Tristan and I quite, the incapable of driving couple. I don't think that would have bode well for a road trip ahead. Yeah, all this playing got you guys thirsty, didn't it? There seems to be a bit of a stream breakup. I've just been informed by FC. FC is aware of it, and they are looking into fixing it. So we apologize. Stream breaks up a little bit, but we are working on trying to get it back smoothly for you guys. Oh, you're gonna get in so much trouble. You see, this is almost the way that they attack buffalo. So I wonder if perhaps he was thinking, I'm a big lion and you're a buffalo and I'm going to eat you. Oh, backfired. You see, even though they're very big animals, they are quite gentle when it comes to the younger one. Oop, unless they fall. Okay, just as soon as I say that, then you guys get aggressive. Come on. Cheryl, you're commenting the water that they're drinking from doesn't seem to be that clean. Well, it's definitely very muddy, but at least, and I know this might be a benefit for an intended benefit for the wildlife, but at least it doesn't have any of that blue algae growing on it. That is one of the toxic things that does occur at this time of the year in the water or in the pans that are formed naturally, and it's normally of deposit of, it can be feces from animals like hippos, and as well as lack of wind and a lot of sunshine, straight sunshine into the water. So actually this water will be probably not taste that great, but out of all of the options that they've got around here, unless they had the option of going to a river, one of the better looking ones. As we drove past Twin Dams yesterday, and it's still not looking great, it's still looking quite green. What do you think? Is it good enough for you? Such an intense stare. Very pretty. Now, it seems like they've all calmed down. That making that noise was a francolin that all of a sudden realized it's surrounded by many lions. Decided it's best to go away. I see there's another lioness walking. Maybe she'll come down for a drink as well. Perhaps they're not done with the morning walk. Now that getting into later on in the morning, I'm surprised that they walk the lions of time to move around a little bit and then just perhaps decide to carry on, especially the thing there. It goes in full stalking mode. You got a warning even before. Why didn't you? Are you stalking? Trying to get there. Little one certainly does add up to the family. I'm sure everyone quite tired. Somebody's going to go play with the Nkuhuma pride of lions. They're still here and still looking quite sleepy. The little cub seems like it's finally decided that it's time for a nap. I think all of the energy fighting and playing and chasing its siblings was depleted. So now it's having a nice snooze next to all his family members. Probably choosing a very good spot, as at some point, unfortunately, he fell into the water while he was being chased by one of the siblings. So I think maybe it got a little bit too wet, and that's why it's in between the two females, just to get a little bit of warmth, because it is somewhat chilly this morning, quite overcast. So having the extra added bonus of a massive lion that you can cuddle up with, I'm sure it's doing all that it can to keep warm. We've got a few members that are still awake, like this youngster. She seems to be grooming herself. Also, she's been part of the playing antics, or she's been the partner in crime for the little one. And they've been running around and chasing each other, and then they go down and they sleep for a little while. And they're like, no, we need to carry on playing. And then they get up again and get back into it. Now, I don't doubt that she's got a lot of mud and other things in between her paws. That's probably why she's licking, and maybe even a tick or two. Perhaps even a little bit of a piece of wood, a chip or a splinter or something along those lines in there. Splinter? Splinter. Now, all of them are here, including the two boys, all of them lying around and sleeping. Camille, you're wondering if lions hunt and eat birds. Well, funny that you mentioned that, because not long ago we actually had two francolins, which are almost look like pheasants, smaller pheasants, almost like a bush chicken, that were walking around in the middle of the lions, just pecking and eating everything away, and the lions could not be bothered. Now, that doesn't mean that they don't eat I was going to say chicken, that they don't eat birds. I just think sometimes for them it's not really worth spending that energy on something that's only going to be a little bit of a bite. Should it be a bigger a bigger bird? I need to focus. They can try, but they seem just more intent in hunting antelope. Although birds do or can form part of their diet up to an extent. Very thorough, getting all the mud off your feet. Got a very clean girl here. Everything. Now you're doing a good job, because your leg is becoming white again. We can see all your spots and not the mud anymore. Well done. Good cleaning session. We should have you for some sort of bleach commercial. What is quite funny, look at the difference in coloration between her feet and the rest of her leg. Now, as you can see, she's still young, and we can see all the little spots that are on her feet. Now, it seems like everything's pretty settled on the lion front, and while we give them some privacy for their cleanup, let's head over to Tristan and find out what his plan is now. They are having a very nice morning now, and it's amazing to think that while one of our biggest cats is sleeping and is pretty much done for the next few hours, then we have another spotted creature, also one of our biggest predators, that is on the move and trying to get places and go places. Cats will always be such interesting things. Now, it seems like our Nkuhumas are loving the weather, and they all splayed out all around here. And I'm surprised that they're sleeping as much as they are, because it doesn't seem like they move that much throughout the night, but they certainly seem exhausted. So I wonder if perhaps they didn't have a few hunting attempts and a lot of adrenaline rushing through them, getting close and getting into position, but clearly no buffaloes around here. And I'm actually wondering as to where they might have gone. Now, it might be almost close to impossible to tell with all of the vehicles tracks that we had this morning on the main road, where the buffaloes were, just because, well, obviously when there are lions around, everything is chaos and everyone wants to see the owners of those paws. But I'm sure we will hear later on today as to where the buffalo have gone. But for now, I'm very happy that the lions actually came all the way back into these mud wallows, allowing us to spend as much time as we have with them today. Jacqueline, you're wondering if lions and leopards have taste buds. I'm not actually sure. I would imagine that they do, as they seem to prefer certain meats to others, and maybe that's part of the reason why, but I am not 100% sure of the answer. That's actually another very interesting thing. All right. Alright, so Kurz just replied, or she sent me a comment that apparently they have 470, which does confirm that they have taste buds and they can choose the meat that they want to eat. But compared to humans, we have about 10,000. That is quite interesting. So our palate seems like it's a lot more refined than the one of lions. Would explain why they don't really mind eating rotten meat every now and again. And while we absolutely couldn't, we wouldn't enjoy the taste. Interesting. Seems like Tristan managed to catch up with Hukumuri, who's still on the move, so let's head over there and see what that spotted cat is up to. Well, they seem to be having a full time. So the older cub, oh no, have you now decided that you're going to pretend that you weren't playing? So the branches that are at the bottom of these cubs' feet, there we go, there's another one. Exactly. That's what they've been up to. It's almost like they've turned into dogs now. Now, they've been playing and stealing that branch from one another the last few minutes or so. And mostly this cub's here and the little one just waits for somebody to drop something, or then he pretends that he's coming for cuddles and says hellos to the other one. And then that's how he managed to steal that little piece of branch that's there. But I think the older cub's gonna come back again and try to steal it from him. Little feisty cub. You didn't know it's got to be a little bit submissive. There we go. Oh no! They properly bumped heads. They are having a wonderful time. Wonderful time. And it's so important on the development of the older cubs and the young cub. It just is playing and learning their abilities and developing new skills. It plays such a crucial part of, what their future might bring for them. Oh no, you guys they're heading a little bit further down into the thicket there, but I see an opening, so we're just going to try and get in there, see if we can with them playing, because it's been highly entertaining. It's wonderful. Hello, boy. Oh, we've had somebody join the party. How are you doing, Tinya? How's it going with all these cubs? Last one in line. Now, let us see if we can go around and have another view of the cubs. Okay, let's see. Now, I see the little cub using this path here. So I'm gonna drive in a different route so that I don't bother him. Alright. More drinking gun. Alright. There's another mud wallow. Whoop! And a hole that I clearly did not see. Sorry, Sense, are you okay? That's part of the problem with such long grass. I tend to think that the holes are not there, and in reality they are. Chris says at least it didn't fall out. That wouldn't have been funny at all, not with so many lions around. Although that would make Tristan and I quite, the incapable of driving couple. don't think that would have bode well for a road trip ahead. Yeah, all this playing got you guys thirsty, didn't it? There seems to be a bit of a stream breakup. I've just been informed by FC. FC is aware of it, and they are looking into fixing it. So we apologize. Stream breaks up a little bit, but we are working on trying to get it back smoothly for you guys. Oh, you're gonna get in so much trouble. You see, this is almost the way that they attack buffalo, so I wonder if perhaps he was thinking, you know, I'm a big lion and you're a buffalo and I'm gonna eat you. Oh, backfired. You see, even though they're very big animals, they are quite gentle when it comes to the younger one, unless they fall. Okay, just as soon as I say that, then you guys get aggressive. Come on. Cheryl, you're commenting the water that they're drinking from doesn't seem to be that clean. Well, it's definitely very muddy, but at least, and I know this might be a benefit for an intended benefit for the wildlife, but at least it doesn't have any of that blue algae growing on it. That is one of the toxic things that does occur at this time of the year in the water or in the pans that are formed naturally, and it's normally of deposit of, it can be feces from animals like hippos, and as well as lack of wind and a lot of sunshine, straight sunshine into the water. So actually this water will be probably not taste that great, but all of the options that they've got around here, unless they had the option of going to a river, one of the better looking ones. As we drove past Trindams yesterday, and it's still not looking great, it's still looking quite green. What do you think? Is it good enough for you? Such an intense stare. Very pretty. Now, it seems like they will calm down. That making that noise was a francolin that all of a sudden realized it's surrounded by many lions. Decided it's best to go away. I see there's another lioness walking. Maybe she'll come down for a drink as well. Perhaps they're not done with the morning walk. Now that getting into later on in the morning, I'm surprised that they've walked all this much, but it's